I'm in love with you, I just can't help it myself. I'm in love. myself. I'm in love with you. I just can't forbid myself. I'm in love.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Good morning, everyone. Let me try to figure out why I am not showing up on screen. Let's see what's going on here. Hello. Okay, that's working. Good morning, everyone. Doing a sound check. This is Kathy. Let me know if you can see me, hear me. Everything's looking good on your ends. Give me a thumbs up if everything's working. Happy Friday. See if I turn off this light. It's I think it's still okay. All right. Good morning. It's a cloudy day here in New York, so I don't have as good sunshine as I normally do, but hopefully the markets will shine on us today and we'll get some good trading opportunities this morning. Now, I want to start by asking all of you, how many of you have live traded with us before, and how many of you are brand new? Let me know if you're brand new on the stream. Let me know if you have not joined us before for live trading. Give me one non-farm payrolls. Give me 1 second to get everything going. But yeah, let me know if you're a first timer. All right, El Gato, Michael Johnson, all of you are first timers to join us. Welcome to live trading non-farm payrolls. So we start about 20 minutes before the non-farm payrolls report because, it's very important, in my opinion, to understand what's expected, which is learn, be prepared for the possible outcomes, which is prepare, and then ready to trade. So I always call these sessions learn, prepare, and trade. So I always call these sessions learn, prepare, and trade. And so that is why we always get together about 20 minutes before the non-farm payrolls report so that we can understand what is expected, be able to put together a trading plan. And when the number comes out, ready to execute our trading plan right away. And this is a very important part of the process. Now, if you joined us for non-farm payrolls trading before, you may know that we've done very, very well with our NFP trades. I hope today will be the same, and we'll see. But a large part of that is a testament to being fully prepared for what is expected today. So I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing with you my computer screen. Give me 1 second to add my screen. Oh, by the way, this is the rundown for this morning. First of all, let me know what you're trading. Do you trade gold, Forex, or indices? Because, I want to talk about, what we'll be trading and how we're going to be trading them. Okay, let me know if, what you're trading. Typically what happens is that, we always trade non-farm payrolls reactively, which means that we don't trade until the number comes out. But this conversation that we're having right now, once again, is very important because it prepares us to be ready to execute right away. So we trade. So what happens is, we talk about what our trading plan is. When the number comes out, I trade Forex. I trade Forex almost immediately to see the opportunities. And then Boris comes in and he trades gold and indices depending upon the opportunity. So we will be covering the whole gamut of it, but we start off with Forex. Also, for those of you that are interested in learning how to trade gold, and for all of you that trade gold, I'm going to ask Boris to pop in. We have a very special webinar tomorrow on how to trade gold and some strategies for trading gold. So, so this is the link for, the gold trading webinar. It's completely free tomorrow at 9 a.m. New York time. Even if you can't make it, register. We'll send you the replay. So make sure you register for that. All right. So let me go ahead and share with you my screen. All right. So right now you will see for the calendar. So the first part of trading non-farm payrolls, of course, is understanding what is expected, right? Because we need to have the expectations in order to figure out how we're going to trade. So with the non-farm payrolls report, you can see here, first off, the previous non-farm payrolls was 228,000. Now it is expected to drop to 138,000. So almost half of the previous month. But the part of the reason why we trade non-farm payrolls reactively is because there's so many parts to it. And so one could surprise the upside, the other one could surprise the downside. It could be a lot of moving parts. So we know that non-farm payrolls, that the absolute amount is expected to drop. However, average hourly earnings the market expects no real change in average hourly earnings. The market also expects no real change in unemployment. Now, if you've traded non-farm payrolls before, you may know that it is very rare for things to come out right in line with expectations. It's very rare for the numbers to be unchanged from the previous month. Of course, one of them probably will be, either average hourly earnings or unemployment rate will probably be unchanged, but the other one will probably end up surprising to the upside or downside. And these are the things that we react to. These are the things that are kind of the unknowns that we kind of wait for. So the market is, for the most part, expecting a weaker report. The market is expecting non-farm payrolls to come in significantly lower, but they're not necessarily expecting the other releases to be all that bad. They don't think that, average hourly earnings growth is going to slow that much. They don't think that unemployment rate is going to be that terrible. So we know the market's bracing for a weak report. Now, then we look at what I call the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls. I posted this in our free BK Traders community. If you are not a member of our free BK Traders community, please sign up. Boris is going to drop you a link for that as well. And, I posted this. And this is a table that I put together to kind of basically predict, handicap, figure out how non-farm payrolls could fare. So non-farm payrolls, as you can see, just looking at this, at first glance, do you tell me that NFPs are going to be stronger or weaker? Are there more reds than greens? Reds represent deterioration from the previous month. Greens represent improvement from the previous month. So based upon this, just looking at the colors, do you think that non-farm payrolls is going to be weak or strong? I'm seeing a lot of weaks, a lot of reds. So taking a look at this deeper, yes, ADP was half the amount the previous month. Jobless claims, which actually have been pretty good for the most part, now rose to a 6-week high. Continuing claims rose to its highest level since November 2021. JOLT, which measures job openings, so jobless claims and continuing claims, and measure how many people have been fired. JOLT represents how many people, how many new job openings there are, and that's the weakest since September. Consumer confidence, depending upon which measure you are, either way, it's really bad. The major index is down to its 2020 low, the UMich index 2022 low. So Americans are feeling less confident. There are fewer job openings, more people filing for jobless claims. But Challenger reported, yes, a 62% increase in layoffs, but this is down from the 240% increase in layoffs the previous month. And according to the manufacturing index that was released yesterday, according to the manufacturing index, we actually see the labor market conditions improving, which kind of makes sense, right? Because the whole tariff thing, America first, bringing manufacturing back home to the US is expected to boost manufacturing jobs. Unfortunately, we don't have the ISM services released before NFPs. That's coming out next week. So we don't have that, which is typically the most valuable leading indicator for non-farm payrolls. So we don't have that, but taking a look at this, I think that most of you will agree with me. It seems like most of you do, that the number will be weaker. And now many of you are asking some very good questions. Like Alan says, has the market already priced in a lower number? Are we reacting off the beat or the miss? This is, going to be a part of our trading plan, because the first step is to figure out what is expected. We know we know that economists are looking for a weaker number according to the forecast. Then we look at to see whether, it could surprise one way or the other. And according to the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls, it's probably going to be weaker as well. And the third part is, what is the current sentiment in the market? What is priced in? What is the vibe of the market? How is the market feeling? So taking a look, first off today, looking at if you join me for our Monday live streams, or you are a BK member, you'll know that one of the most important things that we do every day is we try to figure out what is the market sentiment. So first off, we know that the market is risk on. Upper right-hand corner, stock futures are up. In fact, stocks in general have risen or have not fallen for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. So stock futures are up. Why is stock futures up? Nothing to do with non-farm payrolls. There is a quote unquote bigger story. And if you were, part of our community, you will know I posted it this morning, risk on. China considering trade talks with the US. That is the big story. I mean, of course, they're just considering. They have not announced it. It's still touch and go, but the markets are rallying because of trade headlines, which I think in many ways is a bigger deal for the market right now than non-farm payrolls. The other thing is, how is the dollar doing? I'm going to give you a pop quiz. Is the dollar up or down today? Is the sentiment in the market, is it pro-dollars or anti-dollars? Someone chime in. Is it pro-dollars or anti-dollars today? Dollar up or dollar down? So, yes, Joe is absolutely right. The dollar is down today. Alan's absolutely right. So, when we have the dollar down today, that means that the current market sentiment is for a weaker dollar. So, what that means is that if the number comes out and it is weak, reinforcing the current jibe of the market, there's a very good chance we'll have a bigger move to a weaker number than to a stronger number. Because for the most part, the dollar is down this morning. So when data is in sync with sentiment, we tend to have a better and more durable reaction. When it is against sentiment, the market may be bearish dollars for another reason, like the trade talks with China. The number comes out good. The dollar will rally, but the rally could end up starting to fade because the market thinks, okay, it was good, but we're thinking about something else right now. We're thinking about trade. We're thinking about something else, and so it doesn't matter as much. And that's one of the reasons why understanding and being able to figure out what is the market sentiment is very key to figure out which trades we can let run. So now let's think about what currencies we're going to trade if we have a stronger or weaker number. So right now you can see that the dollar is down against most of the major currencies. The euro dollar this is my zip chart. When it's a background red, that means that it's in this, and it's below the indicator line. It means it's sell zone, so it's kind of bearish. If the background is green, it means that it's in the buy zone. So if we get a good number, if we get a good non-farm payrolls report, we want to buy the dollar against, currencies that are, probably a little bit more sensitive. So for example, if we have a good non-farm payrolls report, we see that the euro dollar is already falling. So if we have a good non-farm payrolls report, I'm going to be looking at selling euro dollar because euro dollar is already kind of under a bit of pressure. And, it's definitely I would say one of the weakest currencies. The weakest currency is actually the British pound, but I don't really love to trade pounds in general as a rule of thumb. So if we get a stronger dollar number, we're going to be looking at selling euro dollars. And, we're definitely going to get some sort of reaction in dollar yen, in my opinion. But I like selling euro dollars and I like buying dollar CAD as my preferred trades for a stronger US number. If we get a weaker US number, that's what the trades that I really like, because that would be in sync with what's going on in the markets right now. So if we have a weaker US number, then let's take a look at dollar yen. Dollar yen is still in the buy zone. Dollar Swiss is kind of in the sell zone. So if we get a weaker US number, I'm going to be looking at selling dollar Swiss. And I also like the strongest currencies this morning are Aussie and Kiwi. So I actually also like buying buying Kiwi. So, I mean, Aussie's not too bad either, but I'll talk in a minute why. So we'll be looking at buying Aussie dollar and selling dollar. Sorry, not Aussie dollar, buying Kiwi dollar. Although, both of them should work, and selling dollar Swiss. So this is going to be my trading plan. And with our NFP trades, we always have a 20 pip stop and then a 20 pip target. So many of you are asking about gold. And if you're just joining me, the way live trading works is, first off, we've laid out what the market is expecting. We've talked about what the current sentiment in the market is. We're putting together our trading plan for Forex. Then Boris will come in after we put on our Forex trades to trade indices and to trade gold. So everything will happen after the data, but it's going to be Forex first and the other major currencies next. And Boris will scream out the numbers, but we're going to see it in the price action. I've got my headlines as well to see what the number is going to come out at. So why did I choose to short euro dollars if we are getting a strong dollar number? The reason is because the euro dollar, if you look at the percentage change, is one of the weakest currencies. And it really seems to be struggling this morning to extend its gains. On the daily chart, it's rejecting the 20 SMA, which I like a lot. On the 4-hour chart, it's also rejecting multiple moving averages. So if we get a weaker dollar number, I'm going to be really liking selling euro dollar. And dollar CAD is really interesting because it's going both ways. But if we get a stronger number, I'd also really like to sell, buy the dollar CAD. So we're going to put up here dollar CAD. We're going to put up dollar yen, and we're going to put up Kiwi dollar for now. Now, we also want to look at dollar Swiss, but we can flip back and forth. Dollar Swiss would be the trade that we would be looking at if we have a weaker number. So if we have a stronger number, we're going to be looking at buying dollar CAD, maybe buying dollar yen. We'll have to see, but I prefer dollar CAD and selling euro dollars. If we get a weaker number, we'll be looking to buy Kiwi dollar and sell dollar Swiss. All right, so that's going to be our trading plan. Now we're about 60 seconds or less to non-farm payrolls. BK members, remember 20 stop, 20 target. We're just going to punch in the trades and see what kind of opportunity that we are getting.
Hey guys, I'll scream out the numbers while Kate does her thing, and we'll let her trade. Again, unless we have a massive variance, I don't see a lot of volatility today. because I think the bigger story, of course, is going to be China and the trade deal. But, if we print negative, that will be a lot of variance. I don't think anybody expects a negative print today. 20 seconds to news. Market's looking for 130 against 228 last time, 124 on the private side. Let's see what happens here.
All right. So we're probably like 15 seconds to the number.
Yeah, we're actually 2 seconds. Here we go. Big.
All right. Must be strong. Is it? 138. Obviously, look, Eurodollar moving lower, 113.08, 113.38. So we're going
167 against 124. So much better. Really, prior was 170. So 170 on the payrolls. All positive. I mean, just like really, really strong. Average hourly work week is strong. It's all bullish across the board. The only thing that's weaker is average hourly earnings at 2 versus 3. But more hours worked, more jobs.
Okay, I would sell Eurodollar 113.17, and then 1 second. Sell Eurodollar at 113.17, and let's give it a little bit of time. It looks like dollar yen wants to rise, but we'll see. So we've got a stronger number. The Eurodollar looks good. I think dollar yen 144.88 sounds good. And let's see if we get a little bit of movement here. Dollar CAD, the thing is that we talked about buying dollar CAD too, but it's really not. It's kind of lagging. I really don't like the way it's trading. I still think it could work, 138.35, but I feel like Eurodollar as well as dollar yen is looking better. So let's see if we get a little bit more opportunity there. So we sold Eurodollar 113.17. We bought dollar yen at 144.88. And it's slow moves. Let's see if we get any momentum in these trades.
Gold is negative on this news, but not so much. Like it's already retracing its negative move, but still gold dropped like 13, 14 points reflexively on this move.
So the number is, it's good, but the previous number, if you look here, was also revised down from 228 to 185. And the forecast, it came in, the actual was stronger, but the previous was revised down. The unemployment rate was unchanged. And as Boris said, the average hourly earnings growth was slower. So it's not very, very good. You can see that our trades are kind of reversing against us. And maybe, it's okay. But I think we're going to hang tight for a little bit because I feel like the market sentiment is bearish dollars. And so I think that we could still have a little bit of a recovery here.
A lot of it depends also on what happens as the day develops today. I mean, as I said, I thought the non-farm payrolls were going to be more or less a non-event. It's actually a relatively positive event for dollar bulls and everybody else. But I think, everybody's dying to see any kind of news out of the administration, even if there's, it's not really serious news, but anything positive. If the Chinese even utter, a word that they were sitting down, it feels like all the risk assets are just raring to go. We took out 20,000 in NASDAQ. We're holding 20,000 in NASDAQ. If we get any kind of fundamental support behind this, gold, for example, which I just shorted, while Kathy was talking about it, is starting to slide again. So generally, I think the path of least resistance here is pro-risk, which means short gold, long equities, and probably long dollar, I guess, even though that's a anti-risk trade. But in this case, it would be long dollar yen, right? Would be probably a trade that should continue to work. We'll see how the FX market is reacting to this. How are the yields doing, Kay?
Well, I mean, we can put it up here. Yields are up today. They're up quite a bit, which is really good for dollar yen or for dollar in general. But it seems like the it's a slow move. Sometimes we have really big moves, and sometimes we have really, really nice big moves off of the data. And it's actually more often than not. Sometimes we just gotta wait. Maybe part of the story is that part of either Europe they're off for May Day. Maybe some people took a long weekend, so they're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe there's less participation. We also have the bigger story, which, as Boris said, is China. So, nothing is really moving right now, which is a little disappointing. I usually like to see much bigger movements, but I think we're just going to kind of hang tight for a little bit.
I think Kay may have a point, because I got to tell you, I've been feeling it this whole week that flow has been much slower. I mean, part of it is probably the overhang from the volatility we had over the last couple of weeks, but generally it feels like kind of half vacation, probably because May Day fell midweek in Europe. Probably a lot of people took, I mean, if you know Europeans, if it's on Wednesday, that means the rest of the week is kind of off. It does feel this way a little bit. And there isn't any material market moving news right now anywhere. So I think the biggest surprise, frankly, is that the U.S. economy continues to be much more resilient than everybody thinks it should be, given the absolute obvious, and I mean obvious and quote unquote, because nothing is more wrong than conventional wisdom, impact of, tariffs. It feels like so far, we're really not seeing a lot of the impact just yet. Now, trust me, if this continues for a long time at these prices, it's almost inevitable that we will be. But a lot of, I think, in the real world, a lot of what's happening now is talk rather than policy action. In other words, a lot of the tariffs haven't really kicked in because a lot of them on the really big things have totally been pushed back. So the price ricochet that everybody's looking for, the price acceleration hasn't really happened yet. And therefore, at worst, corporations have stopped hiring, but nobody's firing. That's why the numbers on the employment side still look relatively robust. We'll see. It's very much an open-ended story as we go into the next couple of months. But it could be a big surprise. I mean, I think the biggest surprise right now is positive risk, which is like nobody expected NASDAQ to be 20,000 today, and we're holding it. And I think
ultimately, euro less than about a 10-point move post NFPs. That tells you the amount of volatility, participation, interest, everything. That nothing is really going on. 10-pip move, is all we've seen in the euro dollar. And euro dollar definitely seems to be the best trade because it's holding short. U.S. yields continue to march upwards. So, I'm going to hang tight for now. But, the fact that we're not, usually what I trade is momentum. And we look for, nice momentum moves in the market. And the fact that we don't have any momentum moves is kind of disappointing. Some of the other trades that I see that's interesting is Kiwi Swiss. Kiwi Swiss, we're forming a zip buy signal here in Kiwi Swiss, 49.14. So, and that way you get a buy candle when we have the white candle in the currency pair, and it's, kind of moving above the indicator line. So we're definitely seeing some risk on trades. The crosses are moving a lot more, like Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi. Those seem to be really rocking and rolling. The majors aren't giving us anything this morning, which, is a little disconcerting. But the zip signals are coming in. This is like it could at least go to the top over here, 49.30. And then we'll just have to wait and see. I don't really love the way it's trading. I'd probably bail out of some of the dollar yen trade right now because it's just not working out. And, it happens. Sometimes we make money. Sometimes actually very rarely. This is the first time we've actually not made money trading non-farm payrolls in, probably the last 10 sessions. But it's also because we've got a tremendous amount of consolidation right now.
Yeah, there's just no, you can't trade if nothing moves, right? The number one rule of trading is you need movement. So you have no movement. So therefore, there really are no trades on the FX side. FX especially.
I mean, the fresh signals are coming in, with the zip sell and dollar CAD. So if we had to respect the price action, and what's happening, it seems like the reverse trades are really,
was there CAD data today too?
No.
So wonder why the dollar is slipping against the CAD.
Yeah, and it's surprising because yields are moving lower. As we're kind of sitting around and, waiting, Tomorrow, as we said, we're having a gold live stream, and we're going to talk about how to trade gold, where gold is headed, along with key levels and some of our favorite trading strategies for gold, for day trading, swing trading. It's a completely, free event. So make sure you register. I think we'll copy the link again. And if you can't make it, don't worry. We will be recording this and then sending this to you as a replay.
I'm gonna post the gold link right now. Really, really worthwhile, guys. I'm gonna showcase a lot of really interesting strategies. Talk about generally the ability to trade, difficult markets, and I think you'll find some very valuable information there. So that's the gold link right now. I just posted it up here. Please be sure. Even if you register, you'll get the webinar a replay. So it's worthwhile to register even if you can't make it, because you'll be able to have the content which you can watch at any given time. We'll send you the link. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. We're looking forward to it. We've been working on it all week long, showing you some really, really good ideas. We have some really, really great looking strategies that you guys will like, as well as robots, trading view indicators, a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to discuss with you and showcase for you. You're going to like. Aside from that, anybody else who's new here? By the way, I'm actually curious, who's new in the room? Say hi to us if you've never attended one of our live event webinars. One thing that's really, really valuable for you, let me make sure if I get this right, is to join our free community. We have now almost over 4,000 people in the last 3 weeks alone that have joined us. The free community has free courses, videos, all sorts of free giveaways, lots of PDF resources, you name it. Just an enormous amount of value. For example, a full explanation of how Kathy trades her ZIP strategy every single day, a full 4K video explanation of how I do all my day trading strategies that we're going to trade, after as the market opens up in New York. So really, really worthwhile. Bring your friends. Send this link to anybody who's even mildly interested in the financial markets, because it's really great. Free community, lots of interesting people in there. It's really good because it's also totally gated. It's not Discord. Nobody's going to come in there and try to hack you. It's private. We keep it very, very clean. I tolerate nobody who gets through. And everybody who's in it really, really enjoys it. Plus, it's totally mobile. So like all those courses that I was telling you about, Kathy's course on Forex, my course on day trading, you can watch it on your iPhone or your Android any given time, just in little bits and bytes, which is really, really cool. So hopefully you guys all take advantage of it. This is really for you. So say hi to me. Who's new? There's a lot of people saying new here. Who's Randy? Hi, Randy.
I really like this ZIP sell setup in dollar CAD. We know that the dollar is starting to move back lower. The other trades really aren't working out. They were kind of stopped out, which happens. It's unfortunate, but we can't win every single non-farm payrolls. But right now we have 4 triple ZIP sell signals in dollar CAD. You can see, for the most part, when we get a sell signal or a buy signal, it does lead to some nice moves in dollar CAD. You see that here, so I really like this quadruple ZIP sell signal. We'll have to wait for the candle to close. If we look at the longer term charts, you can see dollar CAD still very much in the downtrend, and it looks like we could possibly get back down to this region here. It is oversold, but if these sell signals hold, I think it could be quite negative for dollar CAD.
I think it's basically the pro Carney trade. It feels like CAD, after just getting decimated by by Trudeau administration, the Canadian growth really, really slowing down, blah, blah, blah. Feels like the market is there's capital coming back to Canada on the assumption that there is more of a grown-up administration that's going to be, traditional. I'm just wondering, because it seems like a very strong continuous trend to the downside. It's clearly not just contingent on interest rates alone. It feels like there's capital flow into Canada.
Yeah, I think that there's no question that the hope for all the headlines about possible trade talks is benefiting Canada. And they think, like you said, with Carney coming in, that, Trump and Carney could reach a deal, one of the first deals, probably before China. And so that could be reflecting some of the optimism.
Yeah, and, especially since, of course, I've read somewhere there's literally only like 5 countries that matter as far as trade goes. Canada is number 1, China, obviously, Japan number 3, South Korea. What's the 4th one? I guess the European Union is the 4th one as a total. But basically, like, those are the 5 centers that really, really matter for U.S. trade, and you make deals with those. Everybody else. The other point that I thought was kind of interesting is that somebody said that once one deal is made, so like one of the major players says, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our deal." Everybody will be inevitably forced, just literally forced, to those terms, because you can't negotiate with with your biggest customer. We are the biggest customer for products across the world. So if somebody settles on our terms, everybody else is going to follow. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see if that Mexico, so you were saying Mexico, right?
Getting a lot of questions about gold. What are your thoughts on it right now, Boris? We're not getting much moves in currencies, so
gold. Speaking of like risk, gold did pop off the lows. We tested 3250. So gold is clearly just in consolidative fashion right now. It's not like there's any clear definitive moves. There was a report this week that Chinese sold 1 million troy ounces of gold this week. If they did, is actually very bullish because the metal absorbed the sale pretty well. I mean, we're at 3,500. We came down to 32.25 on a natural profit taking mode. As long as we hold, I think. So long as we hold at 3,200, somebody said to me 3,180, whatever, anywhere in that zone, that's pretty bullish because it means that there's just buyers on the dip here, and we don't have too much selling pressure. I think after having this big, massive rally, it's very natural to digest, and we're just going to be up and down market maybe for 2 or 3 months. A lot of it will also, of course, depend on trade and everything else. If the trade issues thaw out and we start to have lots more trade, probably gold, some of the shine comes off the gold, because gold is getting a huge amount of bid as a sovereign debt relief. That having been said, though, I don't think long term. I think my long term call on gold is 5,000, but that it's maybe a couple of years forward, or at least a year forward. So I still think it's very much buy the dip trade. But one of the cool things that I'm going to show you is it doesn't matter what I think fundamentally. It doesn't matter what I think tomorrow. We scalp, and we're going to make money whether it goes up or we just need a little bit of movement in gold to make money. I'm going to show you just a preview of the stuff that we're going to talk about tomorrow in the gold webinar, because I have a special indicator that we're going to use for scalping gold that you guys will really, really like. So we'll showcase that for you guys in a few minutes. And let me put the gold webinar again on here, so just so you guys have the chance to at least register and come in. As I said, if you register, you get the videos, so you get a chance to really, really learn the stuff. I'm very excited actually to share all this stuff with you, because it's really cool. I think we have like 13 on-demand courses in this gold lessons that we've put together for you guys. We're probably going to have even more by the time I'm done. Yeah.
So right now, what I really like is still just kind of watching the dollar CAD to see if this keeps a zip sell zone. Euro CAD looks like it's going to drop below the indicator line, the combination of euro weakness as well as CAD strength. I think euro is still looks like I still think the dollar could come up bid. I still think euro could move lower. So we'll have to see whether or not that ends up happening. Although the first trade ended up getting stopped out, but I still think the dollar, if you take a look at yields continue to press higher. I still think the dollar is attempting to rally here.
Yeah, I mean,
but we'll see. I mean, sometimes we get some big moves. It's unfortunate that we really did not get any big moves. But there's always another trading day. That's the story.
Fred is saying pound dollar, which Kathy doesn't really trade, but he says take a look at it as something about pound Aussie.
Yeah, I definitely don't trade pound crosses because my stops are like between 20 and 40 pips. And so, I love to trade Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi and everything, but pound, I definitely don't trade at all.
So hi, Lawrence. Hi, Java. Hi, Souls. Lots of new people here. Hi, Randy. Nice to have you guys with us. We do this all the time. So be sure to bookmark us and come join us. Every Monday, Kathy produces a full show for the week in terms of what she thinks the economic calendar will be, where the big trades are, where the big events are. So come join us for that. After that, I take over and I do live trading. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I live trade with you every single New York Open. I also live trade the Asia Open. For those of you guys who are from Asia, we in the morning in New York, we trade futures. And then in Asia, we trade CFDs with gold, US 30, NASDAQ, maybe occasionally Bitcoin as well. So a lot of content here that hopefully for those of you guys who are new, very, very useful. We believe education by example. So we trade live, we trade real market prices, real accounts. You guys get to see exactly our strategies, and then you can make those strategies your own and trade really, really well. So hopefully you really enjoy the experience. Make sure, as I said, I'm going to put the join link here for our community. So if you're brand new, come join us.
So some of you are asking about pound, dollar, pound. Pound, first of all, on the daily chart, looks like it's rolling over. Bank of England is expected to cut interest rates soon, and I think in June. But, pound is bouncing off of the 100 SMA in the 4-hour chart, and this matters. So, I don't trade pound in general because I said it's too much volatility. But pound dollar does look like, it's neither here nor from a broader perspective, it looks bearish, but it doesn't look like it really has much momentum to slide to the downside today either. So we're really not, everything is just kind of consolidating. We're not getting really any real flow. The dollar's pulling back, and it's, probably because the revisions were lower. And so even though the headline number beat, the rest of the report wasn't really all that great. I guess that's the main takeaway from the market. We didn't catch the right trades today. So, I'm just going to step aside. It seems like if the dollar is going to pull back, the original idea of long Kiwi dollar, short dollar CAD, if it goes back into the sell zone, those are probably the ones that are the most interesting to me.
Okay.
All right, do you want to take the screen, Boris?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Let me share my screen. Hang on, I gotta clean everything up here. Close tabs to the right. Okay, window, share. Yep, we got the look. You can see, even I'm trying, even I'm getting a little bit clipped here. I'm trying to sell gold momentum because gold is sort of negative trend. It's the short moving average below the moving average. We have a sell signal here that just did not continue. Just not continuing. Looks like I might get clipped on this trade for a small loss, which is fine. We try to trade our process, and we'll keep trading it, and it will eventually work. But what's cool that I really want to show you guys is the tool set. The tool set is really, really neat. This is actually a preview of some of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you about in the gold course. This is a special indicator I made to trade gold that actually we can apply to anything. That is very derivative of our scalping approach that we trade across all instruments. And the idea is kind of very simple, but this one is just specifically modified for pure scalping momentum dots. So these green dots, as you can see, let me get a little bit bigger here on the screen so you guys actually, I can use the thing. You see these green dots that are diamonds? Those are what's called counter trend buy dots. And green and dots that are circles. Where's my magnifying glass? Here's my magnifying. Are trend dots. So in this case, this is a trend signal which I took, and it just sort of died. It just did not have any continuity. But the indicator basically will show you both trend and counter trend signals in their right sequence. One of the things that we always trade is we always want to try to trade with trend. So in this case, we want to trade a dominant trend, and we only want to trade counter trend if we have 3 consecutive counter trend signals in a row. And one of the things that this little indicator is going to do is it will only show you counter trend signals with stops and targets if there are 3 consecutive signals in a row. Looks like I actually, you know what I did? It's a shame. I did not leave my stop. So let's go. We're going to short gold again. I'm going to short gold again. And we're going to keep my stop above. This is the proper stop above this second triangle. This second candle, the highest high. We're going to stay on this short. And if it closes, this candle, I'm very, very early on this short. So we'll see, you know, I'm not holding my breath. But if this candle has a red dot behind it on the close, meaning it's a momentum short, we'll add to the position, which is the classic way that I always trade. We only add to the position when things are going our way. And if that works, we'll see, you know, that hopefully we get a little bit of a momentum trade. As of now, I'm just have an initial trade very early in the position, 40 seconds left. When this gets down to 0 seconds and I still have a dot on top, meaning that there's a sell momentum trade here in gold, I'm going to add to the position. We'll see if gold has any further momentum to the downside. But I'm going to be very patient with this thing, not really pull the trigger until and unless I get the move. Where's the schedule posted? The schedule is actually, if you just simply go to our channel live streams, you'll see it. But if you go to my Twitter, I'll share my Twitter in just a second. I'm just watching this trade here. I want to get into the trade here. Sell. Okay. All right. So now I'm short 2. I'm going to put my stops right over here. And now we're going to put our targets over here to the buys. And let's see if we can get done a little bit here on a momentum move here. So I added to the position. I'm kind of short 2, not long 2, short 2. Let's see if I can get this done. 41. Come on, baby, come on. Not really coming down. There's not a lot of. I was going to just take the profit there in the 40s, and I held back. All right. I'm either going to eat this trade because of my patience, or maybe we'll get lucky and this will start hitting me down. You see, the cool thing is that this kind of creates labels for me as suggested exit prices where I want to be out on the trade. I'm trying to get out a little bit earlier here because this thing just doesn't seem to have any momentum. But let's see, maybe it's finally going to start crushing it. Come on, get down. Somebody said if Boris is trading gold, we're going to hear some curses. I'm trying not to drop the F-bomb, but you know, I think we need an F-bomb here. Come on. Fuck it. All right, I'm just going to get out of this thing. I hate this piece of shit. I hate the product. I hate gold. It never does what I want it to do. So, all right, we took a little bit out of this. We took 35. This probably is going to go 100 down my way, but I have zero fucking patience as usual with gold because it's such a shitty little product. Look at this. And now we could have had 100 points on the move. But you guys know that the key to trading with me is not what I do, but what I show I do, the process I do. And the process is really, really good, which is we took the short. The first short that I took that I stopped out was kind of stupid. I had the wrong stop. I should have had the stop above here. But regardless, I took the second short over here. I added it to it properly. Now the thing is fucking dropping 1,000 points, of course, against me. I had no patience to hold it because it's so slow. But technique-wise, it was the process-wise, it was a good thing. Technique-wise, it always goes a little bit sideways. Anyways, those of you guys who John says, if it's gold, Boris is going to curse. Exactly. But those of you who took the trade, hopefully you did much better than I do. Because now, if those, I'm actually curious who in the room just took the trade with me. Look how well it did. This was basically about $100 trade that I only took $35 out of. But the point is, the gold scalper indicator is just really, really good, and it's fully optimized for both trading the trend and the counter trend signals. Yevgeny said he did. Very nice. It will go much lower, I think, eventually. You're probably right, Stefan. Dow should be heading higher as well. Karen took some money Cheryl took some money. Really nice. Good job for you guys. All of you guys. Very nice. Very nice. All good stuff. And this is what we do. I create the tools that make you trade better. That's really what I do. I live trade with them, obviously, but the job is not to show you how well I do. The job is to help you do the best you can do. And, that's why tomorrow's webinar, we're going to talk about all the tools that I just created for you guys. Let me give you that freaking link again, just so that everybody can come in. I know I'm humping this gold webinar, but it's really, really good. Plus, Kay made me do all these videos, so you guys better come in because you know how much I love recording videos. Okay. Do I pay attention? Rarely. Remember, when I'm scalping, it's such an introverted trade. In other words, it's a momentum trade. Everything that is happening outside is incorporated into the price at that moment. I'm not really looking. If I was looking positionally, like, what's the day like? Oh, today is, equities are up, but gold is up too. That seems weird. Maybe I should not go long gold or whatever. Maybe the correlation is breaking. That's fine. But the correlation on a minute by minute basis is immaterial to me. As you can see, this was a clear fucking downtrend over here that as usual, gold, drove me crazy on. In the meantime, the really great trades and where the money is at is on the equity side, right? So here's what I want to show you about this really cool scalper version that I'm going to showcase tomorrow. So first of all, you see that this is all positive gold momentum dots. So any of these gold momentum dots would have worked really, really nicely as a positive trade. But then you also see these are counter trend diamonds, right? Red diamonds. And what you will notice is that the indicator is never going to show you a short trade, because it's set up this way. You have a way to configure it. And the configuration here is you got to have 3 consecutive red dots like we have in our structure in order for you to create a counter trend short trade. So what this does is it just enables you to not make stupid counter trend short trades, and also pretty good long trades too. I mean, we're a little bit late on this move here on NASDAQ, but what the hell? I mean, I can always get long. I'll stay long just one. I show you the potential here. I'm going to stay underneath here, move my targets to the suggested target. Let's see if we can make it. I mean, this is already a big move, but maybe we'll get a little bit more of a push to the upside. We'll see what it wants to do. But it makes trading so incredibly easy and intuitive, right? Because it gives you all the suggested stuff visually. You can just drag and drop your stops and targets. It tells you exactly which side of the market you should be on. It tells you when there's a possibility of a reversal, stuff like that. I told you I chased this trade. This is going to stop me out. It's too hard, too much movement to the upside. So I'm probably going to eat this trade. The trade was here. The trade was here. But I'm doing this more to show you visualization, the power of all this trading. The really, really fun part of this trading. Let's see if this thing can do anything. Good day from DC. No wonder you guys like Oz, cuss like a champion, took the gold trade, feel exactly the same, and switched to Q trade. Yes, I know. The thing is, there are guys in my room here that do nothing but trade gold really, really well with the indicators that I show, that I develop. And it's got nothing to do with the product. It's got nothing to do with the tool. The tools are great. The product is fine. It's got everything to do with your personality, which goes back to the whole idea of, we talked about this at the beginning of the week. Are you patient or are you impatient? The single most important question in trading has nothing to do with anything trading related. It is a pure personality question. And how you answer that question is going to determine what strategy you're going to be using and what instruments you want to be using. So obviously, nothing is more volatile, nothing moves faster, nothing pops up and down better than NASDAQ, which is why it's the impatient, it's the ADD champion of the world. Gold is good, but it's it's sloppy. It's a little bit slow. It's like the tourist in New York City, around which I got to walk around every 5 fucking seconds. So you got to know what trades best for you, not what is the best trade, because what trades best for you becomes your best trade, and that's something I think people completely miss when they talk about trading. Money lunch, better restaurant. What are you going to get for lunch, Karen? Are you thinking about lunch? What's for lunch? Share your lunch menu with us. Do you know what I'm eating every fucking day for the last 2 weeks? Because I've become a pig since I came back from Paris. I'm trying to really cut. You guys are just gonna laugh. Literally every day, romaine lettuce, 3 strips of like medium rare steak, cucumbers, lemon, olive oil, salt. I could survive a penal colony, no problem. That's literally all I eat every goddamn day. And then at dinner I'll have boiled egg and cheese. And have I dropped a single pound? Have I even shred a single ounce? No, but at least I haven't gained one. That's my view. What time is it? We still got lots of time. It's only 9:05, so we've got 20 minutes to the open. We'll see how it trades. I mean, clearly flows are relatively positive. Let's see what Twitter is saying. Somebody was asking me, where is the schedule? This is a bad version of the schedule. I gotta remake it. I gotta remake it because it's kind of old. And this weekend I'm gonna try to remake the schedule. But I actually have the schedule pinned to my Twitter. So if you ever want to go there. But honestly, sorry, I totally forgot. The answer to the schedule is in the community. The community has a community calendar. Every single live event that I'm trading is on there with a link. Like that is literally, if not no other reason to join the community, is to come in and get the schedule. So let me put the community link in here for just a second. So if you join the community, there's a calendar right in the community, and it will tell you exactly the latest thing that we're all doing. What's going on over here? What do we have here? No, just 3 places. I'm trying to see if anybody has anything intelligent to say. Oh my God, this picture just triggered some memories from when my son was in high school and was basically a juvenile delinquent. They used to. I swear to God, my son is a wonderful, wonderful grown-up man now. But when he was young, I absolutely was convinced that he was going to be in jail and I was going to have to just bail him out perpetually. Because what they would do as little kids, or not little kids, when they were in high school, they would steal watermelons and melons from our bougie little supermarket and then roll them down Broadway and watch the cabs crush them underneath their tires. Like this was their little entertainment. I wanted to kill him for doing this, but anyways, that picture just triggered the whole memory of what's going on. I'm trying to see if there's any kind of analysis on the news, or if basically we're just So everybody was wrong, which by the way, very, very typical. Conventional wisdom is almost always wrong on the numbers. But I'm just trying to see if we have anything here. Moved higher to just, but it's backing up a little. Blah, 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 locked and loaded. Nobody has any analysis here on the news. Oh my God, look at zero hedge. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's actually, politically that's good news, but that's such a little racist tweet. Interesting. Okay. Oh, looks like we got done on the. Look at this. While this is by the way my way of trading. If I don't follow the trade, it will usually get done. Let me show you what happened here. I'm going to go into settings. I'll show you where the execution was, so you guys can actually see it. So we bought this 109 right over here. It took a while for this thing to trade. We held it underneath. It held underneath the lows of the candle. Tested us very, very aggressively, but held, and then boom, trend blew up. And you can see, trend works and works and works. The cool thing about this particular little indicator that I made for gold, and we can use it for all the other instruments, is that it won't give you a counter trend signal until there's really a genuine counter trend signal. It's not, every stupid little red candle is a fake out, right? Every little red candle is a place to get short, is a place to just get yourself stopped out, right? So you won't see this until you get like 3 consecutive diamonds, which is a really, really cool little technique that I've added to this indicator that's going to, that it really helps you trade. So we can go to gold, for example, and you see again, gold finally, the short really, really worked. And again, I gave it up way too early. Evgeny, are you trailing this trade? I know there are a couple of guys that trade my indicator and they actually trail the trade. So they must have made, Jesus Christ, what did you make on this? This is like a couple of $100 per contract on the micro side. If this thing went down, I'm actually curious. Yeah, he did. Evgeny did trade it. Very good. Very good as the good Russian that you are. You had the patience. So if you had the patience, you really could have made some really, really good trades on gold. I'm going to get rid of all my past trades here because it gets very annoying. I just wanted to show you entries and exits and how I use the indicator to help me get the exits. So for example, here's a sort of an interesting narrative that's developing, right? We have a diamond. It's a counter trend buy, meaning it's a counter trend buy. You notice that there is no everything. All the signals here are still to the short side. This is the stop. This is the target to the short side, right? That got hit, by the way. You see, if you shorted over here, hit the target, you made the target. Now, it's not going to show you any potential trades to the upside until and unless there's 3 consecutive diamond trades in a row. So it's very, very cool that way. It'll show you reversal signals, but not actual trade signals if they don't, if they're not there. In the meantime, we're just look at this. We're just squeezing the shorts mercilessly on the side. Nice. All right, I'm glad everybody's doing well on all trading. Very nice. Look at Tom. Tom, you're really cranking it away. Good for you. How are you guys doing in your prop accounts? Are you guys moving along? I always want to do better, but I really can't argue with this. This is this week 1,800, right? We started 50,000 last week. I need 53,000 to get this account funded. The other account is at 52,200. I need only 800 to get that funded. If I had the time, if Kathy wasn't yelling at me every 5 seconds to actually do work instead of trading, I probably could have run these to target already. But it's going to be a long slog because I'm just so busy with other stuff, and I don't think I'm not going to get a chance to trade today, which is really unfortunate. I think today is going to be a really good day to trade all throughout the day. But the point being is the techniques, the structures, the scalping that that we've been working on, and most importantly, the process of only doubling up when you have the trend going your way, really proving itself its mettle. It's just really good, clean, continuous trades. I want to show you. Let me see if I can move this over here. So, okay, so I'm going to show you the reports if this thing works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes Trade Evade gets stuck. I wanted to see this week actually on the reports. Let's see if this is going to work. No, it's too busy. Okay. The thing that I was going to show you. Oh, maybe you guys don't even see it. Let me see. Do you guys see this? Hang on. Are you guys seeing the? Let me see if you guys are seeing the thing. Yeah, you are seeing it. Okay. Let me try this one more time. Let me see if the reports is working. I want to do this week. No. Shit. Unfortunately, sometimes Trade Evade won't, when it's very, very busy, it won't print reports. But what I wanted to show you, you just have to trust me on this. The really interesting part about this whole approach, and the reason why I absolutely love it, and why it's such a good approach, is we made about $1,800, but the drawdown was about $800. So like max run up to max drawdown, and that is the way you really want to evaluate your trading. if your maximum run up in profit is anywhere above 1, but if it's nearly 2 to 1 to your drawdown, to like the most you lost against the most you won, you are doing God's work. You are doing the right thing in trading. Okay, you are on the right side of the move most of the time. By far, that's the only statistic that I ever really look at. Everything else is, like the you ever heard the statement, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics? Or the other statement is, if you torture data long enough, it will finally confess. Meaning that every other statistic can be completely and totally manipulated, from Sharpe ratios to Sortino ratios to all the other bullshit. None of it means anything as far as the quality of the strategy. There's like a very, very famous analogy. Like somebody has somebody that has a high Sharpe ratio, which is like these very, very low risk, right? Is a turkey who gets fed every single day. So every single day he just gets positive, positive income, right? Positive food until the day before Thanksgiving when he gets his head lopped off. And like that's pretty much a positive Sharpe ratio strategy. You can have lots of those strategies where they mask a huge amount of risk. To me, the only way to really evaluate, I wonder. Let me just see if maybe this other. I'd love to see if I could just actually pull up the. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get the reports on Trade Evade, but let me see if I can do this week. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So let me show this to you. So now you guys can actually see this. So you see this? This is, which account is this? I already forgot which account I'm working on. Oh, this is the 71 account. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I was trading. So this week, $1,200 up, right? Max run up, $1,800. Max drawdown, $600. That's very good. That's really, really good. Okay. Yes, I had a couple of drawdowns, but overall, what you see on the cumulative P&L is just a small dip and a consistent. Don't get yourself fooled. These are dips. Like it's not all red. This is a cliff. But all these dips are relatively shallow compared to the new highs. That's the key thing. As long as the cliffs are relatively shallow, you're doing a pretty good job. What was I? Am I 71% accurate? That's all of that is really, really good. All of these statistics are pretty good. And I just wanted to. That's available, by the way, in Trade Evade. You can pull your statistics like this all the time, and it's really helpful for you guys who are trading prop to kind of give yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Keith says, eat like an elephant, crap like a bird, more wins than losses. Yeah, it's not like all my losses are minuscule. I do take some clips on my losses. The key thing is, and you can't be perfect. You're going to take some big hits sometimes, especially if I'm, in a big candle and the candle completely retraces against me and I eat it. You're going to eat it. The more important point is, can you get it back? Can you recover it intelligently? If you can do that, the strategy is pretty good. By the way, here's a cool thing I want to show you. So we got two diamonds, right? We'll watch this. So this is the gold scalper that I'm gonna talk a little bit about in the gold webinar tomorrow. If this is, if we're kind of, coming down and profit taking is taking shape. This is, I got to go in the wrong. I'm in the 69. I got to go 71 account. Okay, 71 account. If I get a third diamond, what you're going to see is that these lines, which this is a last long trade. You long here, target here, stop here. Obviously, it's the final trade on, final stop on the railroad station. So it's probably going to stop you out here because it's had a big long run already. But more interestingly enough is if this third candle produces a third consecutive diamond red dot, it's going to flip over into a short signal for us. So it's very cool in a sense that it doesn't turn counter trend until there really is some meaningful reason to be counter trend. So if nothing else, I kind of just wanted to show this to you. It's my little treat for Friday of the stuff that I'm doing. Hey, should I change my? Let me see if I go this way. I want to go this way. Is this better for you guys as far as visualization? You guys seeing this a little bit more? I think you should be able to see the chart a little bit better, right? Let's go full chart. That's going to be a new product for gold, for the gold course that we're talking about. This, I just developed a lot of stuff for the gold course, and this is part of the stuff. It's very, look, it's very, very similar from multi-strategies. The functionality is almost very similar, but it has a couple of really cool little tweaks that I put in there that make it even better. Like if I go into our multi-strategy, it looks very, very similar. And we can certainly use the 3 dots of multi-strategy to initiate a short here as well. So here we go. By the way, here's the 3 dots. So I'm actually just going to curious. Let me show this to you. You see how this is showing now a short? This is the stop. This is the target. Kind of cool, right? Really, really cool on the functionality. Oops! Now it went away. Let's see if it. Nope, there we go. See? So if there is a short trade, there isn't actually. It went away. See that short trade went away. There's no short trade because there was no 3 dots to the downside. Maybe the next one will be. We'll see. But it's kind of cool. Well, I'm not trading on funded accounts. We have funded accounts. Here's one of the funded accounts. Hang on a second. Let me find it. Shit, where am I? I have a 150 funded account sitting over here. The reason why I'm trading on evals is for a couple of reasons. One, everybody in my room is part of what we do is coaching. So I'm going through the process with you, right? In other words, I'm going through, for my 50th eval. We've as I've shown a lot. I think let me see if I can find this again. Hang on, bear with me a sec. Oh no, it's in my other account. Sorry. Well, I have like 5 evals that we already passed over the last month. Now I'm actually in my personal account. This was in our corporate account. I'm going to try to pass a couple of more because I want to get to that, first stage, which is the eval stage. Then we're going to get about 4 or 5 of them passed, and then we're going to trade funded only, probably in the month of May, maybe in the month of June. So it's kind of like I'm just going on a journey with you guys to so you guys can see what I do. I do what you do, and we talk about that all the time. No, it's not. No, John, it's going to be it's a separate product just for gold. No. BFF is done. No more adding to BFF. It's done. It's done. Okay, so what do we have here? This is so what time is it? It's 9:21. All right, let's take a punt here. We're gonna sell counter trend move. Let me see if I'm in the right condition here. Where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Let me go to 71 account. You guys will see it. Okay, so I sold the counter trend move because we had 3 dots to to the move. My stop should be like on the second one. My target will be like somewhere around here. It's very, very mild reversal signal. I don't even know if it's going to work because there's so much strong trend. But at least I'm not, doing something totally stupid, which is try to pick a top all along. If I'm wrong on this top, which I may very well be, the next top will be a good one. I'm perfectly okay. If I get stopped out on this top, I'll come in and trade the next one because it will give me a good signal eventually on the reversal. But as I always say, reversals are a bitch to trade. It's only because I'm just an inveterate top picker, bottom picker that I trade reversals. And the smart trade is just to simply trade trend or not. Basically, trend and stand aside. Trend and stand aside is where you want to be. But if you're going to trade reversals, you want to have the best tools possible at your fingertips, so at least you have a reasonable chance to extract some P&L out of them. This thing is just so slow. Come on, baby. It's really not reversing. All right, I'm going to hold this. We're going to hold this. We'll see if this is a genuine reversal. It's really nothing, man. It's just nothing. It's so quiet, not even moving. Much time is it? We have 6 minutes to the open. There's no doubt they're going to rip it up to the upside to the open. So I don't want to be holding this, until the open. I'm hoping in the next minute this thing drops, and if it doesn't, I'm just going to close it out because it's just not worth it. All right, I'm just going to close it out. Again, I don't, I got the open right now. The open is always a trap, regardless which side you're on. You're always going to be on the wrong side because lots of volatility, market and open orders. So I'm going to stand down for the next 5 minutes, and we'll play from there. This reversal did actually have some continuity. It's very, very small, but you see. The point being is, you see how good the signals are. And as I said, by the way, all of you guys trading, it's not like there's anything, secret being away. You had the signals over here. You had the three red dots. You could have easily taken the short side on this move in BFF. It's not like you are without tools. In fact, I'll stay on BFF right now for the rest of the show, just so we can trade back to our original stuff. Does it also work with 3 green up on the reverse side? So in other words, it should be a downtrend, short below the long, 8 below the 200, and you get 3 up. Yes, same idea. It's a reversal. Yes. So same idea, one way or the other way. Trading both ways. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, as we say in New York City. All right, man, God is so fucking slow. Move already. 4 minutes to the open. Look at the price actions. Like, hello, is this thing on? Where's gold? Oh, so who's asking me? Chris. So let me show you. This is a good example. So you see this, Chris? This is where would we be on a reversal trade here? Right over here. Triple dot. I just simply wasn't watching this because, let me show this to you exactly. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is the entry candle. Oh, sorry. This is the entry candle. 1, 2, 3. Candle closes here. I'm long 56s. The stop would be at 51. Target would be like at around 60, or 59. Boom. Right then and there. It actually goes much higher. But a good reversal, right? So yes, it works both ways. The key thing is you gotta make sure that you follow the rules. But as an indicator, it's an awesome indicator for you. So who's new here, guys? Are you guys enjoying my relatively curse-free session today? Because I only traded gold a couple of times. It really brings out the best in me. Let me see what I want to ask in the room today. What's a question that's on everybody's mind that we should do it? Let me throw it out to you guys. What kind of poll question should we do today? Who wants to be polled on anything? Usman, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh, you know what I want? Let's just do a simple question of what do you trade? Because I'm curious what you guys trade. What do you trade? We're going to start with futures. FX. And other, which would be like stocks, options, and for FX, I'm gonna say FX and CFDs, because if you're trading indices on CFDs, that's fine. Okay, so let me see. Is this a start poll? No, wait. Close. Start poll. Okay, here we go. All right, let me know. I'm curious what you guys are trading. How can you get some capital? Well, for anybody who doesn't have a lot of money, prop trading is the best thing you could possibly do, right? Our friends at Apex are very, very good at giving you very inexpensive chances to essentially get funded for a lot of money. That's what we're doing all day long. Do you ever draw lines on a chart to find potential resistance? No. No. You know what? Let me tell you. Let me tell you my whole view about charts. Hold on. Let me find the image that I think about lines. Okay, hold on just one second. Charlie lines image. Let me see if this comes up. Okay, there we go. Let me show you. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is how I feel about people who draw. Where is he? I can't show this to you. This is how I feel about people who draw lines on a chart. They have about as much value as Charlie. Okay, support and resistance don't really exist. They're just, figments of your imagination on a chart. Does Apex take clients from USA? You bet your ass they do. They're an American company, baby, out of Texas, all American. Yeah, let me put the Apex link over here. Let me just tell you while it's a little quiet. Although 9:30, we're opening up. Wow, it's sort of very. Let's see what the market is. And the market did pop up, right? No, we're kind of quiet. Wow, 9:30 and just like it's a thud. Nothing going on here. Markets are really, really quiet. Let me pull up. Just bear a second. I'll show you the deal that we have with Apex and everybody else that you guys should really, really enjoy. Let me see if this is correct. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to put this deal up here. I'll only torture you with this for 5 seconds because everybody who's in the room already knows this. This is what I do. If you're a member already, as I said, a few people have already taken advantage of this. If you're a member of BK already, and you paid beginner fee or monthly fee, I will refund you your fee. I'll give you your money back because this is the deal that I feel is going to turn you into a trader. You get 6 months, all trading with us, coaching on top of it with me, private coaching, which is going to start next week, guys. I'm going to start private coaching next week. I'm waiting for wealth charts. Wealth charts, I'm going to talk to Rob today. I think they probably enabled all the wealth charts possible. And then everybody who's trading on wealth charts is going to come trade with us as well. But the bottom line is I threw everything but the kitchen sink. All of our indicators, Kathy's funded course, Kathy's Forex trading, whatever you want to do, plus 3 free Apex accounts. So if you want to trade prop for free, I'm going to buy you 3 $50,000 accounts with this deal. So go ahead. That's the link over there. If you're already a member, flip it. Just, I'll make it cost-free for you. I'll refund you whatever deal you signed up before. I'll flip that out, give you this deal. You're going to be a much happier camper by the end of this. So that's the story. Let me go back to charts. I want to take this long, guys. Let's take this long. Just me dicking around. Let's get long. So why do I want to be long on this trade here? Because we're positive trend. This is a green signal, and I actually should be long twice. I'm just not, so we're going to just simply take this trade and boom, more money. As I said to you, the cool thing about my tool is once you know how it's working, you can almost, it's just almost instinctual. You can take the trade without thinking too much because all the thinking is done on the tool. What's happening here is we have positive trend. We had a sell-off over here. This is the first positive momentum signal to the upside. The trade should have been, if I wasn't dicking around on the open, long here, add to this, sell out here at double the profit, which is what I should have done. But, as you all know, I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. And my job here is to kind of show you the ideas so you can use them to the best of your ability. You can see it. And I gave it up a little bit early. But the point was, this was a classic scalp trade to the upside, all in the right direction. Trend, positive momentum, get in there. Should have done more of it. There's always never have enough of the good trades. Yes, thank you, Jimmy. Come join us. Have a great time. So yeah, Greg, I didn't mean to, crap on the support resistance lines, but I always think that the Charlie image from Always Sunny in Philadelphia is my best one about. That's how I think about resistance lines. Oh, what's everybody doing on the polls? Look at you guys. Look at you guys. 65% on the futures. Look at you bastards. Very nice. 37% CFDs. Nobody trades stocks and options. All right. All right. Very good to know. What platform am I using? Genevieve. Genevieve. How do I pronounce it? Genevieve. 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 Are you French, Genevieve? Vous êtes français? Vous êtes d'où? Dites-moi, s'il vous plaît. Anyways, the platform I'm using right now is Trading. What you're looking at as far as charts go, this is the TradingView charting platform, for which we write all of my indicators, right? But the actual trading is done with Apex prop firm, which uses Tradeovate. We're also next week going to also still using Apex, going to move to a new platform called Wealth Charts, which integrates both trading and charting into the same platform. So it's going to be really, really good. You'll see that next week. What do you trade, Genevieve? What platform are you on? Sorry, John. If you like, this is a deal that on the free evals only for the last week. I mean, I think I may have. I'll double check. If you bought recently, I'll be happy to give it to you. If you bought like a while back, then you're gonna have to buy a new cycle, because you know how phone companies always give their new customers better deal than the old customers. Fucking the old customers. This is kind of a little bit like that. But you can always become a new customer, take advantage of this deal. Black Cat loves that, right? Come on, that's funny. Thank you. I love it. Then I'll double check. I should have refund. You probably already got the refund, but if you haven't, I'll make sure that you do. I'll make sure that you do. Absolutely. What else? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, Genevieve, you never responded to me what you were trading. What platform you're trading? I'm curious. What do you guys like? Post in chat what you guys are trading, which platforms you guys are trading. Because the other thing is, I also write for MT5 and MT4. So all of these indicators are MT5, MT4 enabled as well, which is really, really cool. Really, really cool. All right, almost a triple red, kind of turning, right? Kind of giving up the open. Now this will be interesting. This is, you want to talk about support resistance? Let's talk about real support resistance. So this is the news open, right? This is the news supports. News support is around 1950. If we kind of deflate all the way down, this is going to be the area that they're going to try and target this too. Yeah, Wealth Charts has a really nice trade copier, allows you to copy trades across multiple prop accounts. Yeah, we're gonna explore that over the next couple of months as well. Yes, as when we start doing a lot more Wealth Charts. Yeah, absolutely. So 23 seconds left. Second red dot in the row. If we get a third red dot in the row, that's going to be a reversal for us. Again, what I think is really, really interesting here is, are we making a full UE, as we say in New York? Should we do a UE? By the way, trivia question of the day. Are you allowed to make actually, I don't even know if this is true in Europe anywhere, but in America, generally, you're allowed to make a right turn on red, right? So you come to a red light at an intersection, you want to make a right turn, you're allowed to do this almost everywhere. Are you allowed to make a right turn on red in New York City? Yes or no? Give me your answers. Who knows the answer to this question? And also, any Europeans, I'm really curious, are you allowed to make a right on red in Europe? Is that a thing in Europe? Yes, I think this is the best answer. Black Cat's got the answer. If drunk, yes, that's correct. That is the correct answer. No, you're not allowed to make rights on red. Stacy says she has. So I'm glad. No, in Australia. Nobody in Australia is allowed to make a right on red. What about Europe? My Europeans. Dark, are you European? No. You can't in Canada unless otherwise marked. Huh? Yeah, see? Europe, only in some countries, they usually have a signal that says you can. So not all. Huh? Interesting. In Holland, it's possible in a small town, but they have a green light, traffic light. So you mean like they actually have like a special light for letting you go to the right? How very European of you. In America, it's just free for all. Germany has those signs. Portugal, no. Interesting. Oh wow, that's like one of those random things I never thought about, but it's kind of wild. Only with green arrow. Yeah, no, fuck green arrows. We go on red in America. We go on red, baby. We go on red because we're real men. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, New York, you're not allowed to because in New York, here's another trick I'll teach you for all of you who are tourists in New York that want to come to New York. Oh, shit. Sorry. I missed this trade. Actually, as I was talking, this was a legitimate reversal trade because we had basically a green trade and positive trend. But honestly, I feel like we're getting, the up move looks a little tired. I'm sorry, not sorry I took this trade. This trade would have worked, but this trade could have easily reversed on us. So, it's not like this was a great trade to take, but it worked. I missed this setup over here. Okay, so here's a trick in New York City, because this is New York. This is why they do this. If there's a don't walk sign, like let's say, you're standing at a crossroads, right? And the sign just went from walk to don't walk, right? You will be shocked at how many, like every grandmother in the world is going to ignore that sign and walk, right? Now there's 1,000 cars, big trucks just sitting there gearing up. Why do you think all those grandmothers are fully confident taking the don't walk sign in New York City? The reason is because New York knows that this is a suicidal, homicidal city. So there is actually a 5-second delay between the don't walk to the pedestrians and the red and the green light to the cars. So of course, all the pedestrians know that this isn't really real. It's a bullshit sign. So they all ignore it and they all go through it because they know they have at least 5 seconds to cross the road. So this is the trick. So next time you're in New York and you want to be a real New Yorker, you will cross the road on a don't walk sign in front of a whole bunch of traffic and show some balls. Okay. Pedestrians also have the right of way. Bob is absolutely right. Even if it's a green light and a grandmother is walking in front of you, you cannot move a muscle as a car. It doesn't fucking matter if it's a green light. Pedestrians own the road in New York City. And if you were to drive on a green light to you and hit a pedestrian, it's your fault. So that's, it's another good thing about New York City. But that's kind of like the fun thing. My other fun thing is, like, this is such a classic New York pedestrian story is, so sometimes, the don't walk sign is pretty much done and the cars are just going to go, right? So what everybody does is they wait so it's a red light to you. It's a don't walk red light to you. You wait for the cars to go. So the cars go. It's still a don't walk sign, but now there's no cars and everybody walks right afterwards. In other words, you wait for the car to pass and you walk on a don't walk sign right afterwards. You just wait for that all the time. I try to do that like in LA. It's, not the same culture. I think I in Paris, it's pretty cool. Paris, we're doing a lot of jaywalking there. Although in Paris, so many goddamn bicyclists. What the fuck is it with the bicyclists in Paris? Everybody and their mother, they put bicycle paths everywhere in Paris now. All the cab drivers were bitching to me about how annoying it is. And like, you can't, as a pedestrian, you can't jaywalk because the bicyclists don't give a shit. They're just going to plow you over. I'm like, God damn. So yeah, that wasn't cool. And then if you're like in Germanic countries like Austria, they just don't do it. They're like so polite there. So I have to respect them. That's funny. John says, in Russia, drivers who have an accident around, they hit a stray dog, but a person stepping out, they'll kill you. Yeah, you know. Well, priorities, my friend. It's priorities. By the way, I read a horrible story yesterday. Just a horrible story. Some asshole in California is like a serial cat killer. Right now, I'm not, I have dogs. I'm not a cat lover, but my son has cats. But whatever. It's a horrible thing. Like the guy literally like murders people's pets, and the police have just been like arresting him and releasing him. Now, I generally a relatively peaceful person, but I'm telling you, I would have zero compunction pulling a trigger on that fucking asshole and putting him in the ground. Like the very fact that he does this, and people were crying because their pets were dying, and the police just simply let this guy go because I guess it's not a crime against humanity. I would fucking bury him for doing this, and I would have zero moral compunctions for doing that. I think it's horrible. Well, we are holding bid. So let me turn my attention back. This is actually pretty positive. If this thing turns green, we got to go long. I mean, the strategy says momentum is alive. So let's see if this thing stays green, and we can trade it a little bit more here. So far, I have no green dots, so there's no momentum trade here. But if it pulls out, 14 seconds left on the clock. I have to be patient. Just not a lot of movement today, guys. What is it, 9:45? We'll do this for another 15 minutes and see if there's any price action. Usually, the other thing about Fridays, we get into this lull, right? We get into this lull. Everybody kind of goes into a comatose mode for the first half hour. Europeans are also gone because, as Kathy was saying, May Day. And then, like, we do get price action, usually around 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you have time, I think there'll be some continuity later in the afternoon to really trade this, interestingly enough. Generally, look, we're up like 1-2% last couple of days. Very impressive. And a lot of people who are calling for the greatest depression since 1930s have a lot of egg on their face so far. So we'll have to see what happens. Today is no private session because we're doing live. Correct. Yeah, cruelty to animals is a sign of murder. Absolutely. I mean, seriously, would you not do this? Like, what an asshole. And more importantly, like, why are police not? I mean, I think that's 10 years in jail. Far more than, stealing a pack of gum or doing some other shit that you're doing. Okay, so look at this. This is interesting. You see how good the indicator is? It didn't put us into a long trade because it didn't give us a long signal. Now momentum is starting to reverse. Now we're going to stay patient. If we get 3 red dots, we're going to short the shit out of this thing because it's clearly losing its momentum. If it's just churning, we do nothing. That's the beauty of the indicator. It just keeps you from doing stupid things, which is what I try to do. I try to create tools that keep you from doing stupid things, because that's 90% of the battle. Yeah, we can't. We're holding a little bit of profit taking. Really feels like maybe they want to test the news breakout lows. They'll be interesting. Let's see if there's. I'm just trying to see if there's any headlines hitting anything here. GDP data show investments surged. Blah blah blah. Apple down. Wow, Bezos dropping $5 billion of stock. Oh, Carney and Trump are meeting today. I didn't know that was today. That's actually interesting. Watch dollar CAD on this because that's probably going to be pretty positive CAD if they come to a deal. Oh, was this Thursday? Oops. Okay, not happening. Okay, second red dot. Stay patient. Let's see if the reversal is really going to take place here. Thank you for the poll, guys. Good to know. So basically, 2/3 trade futures, 60-40, kind of a 60-40 split on futures to CFDs. Also, I trade, now I'm committed to trading Tuesday, Wednesdays, Asia CFDs, which is a lot of fun too. We trade that for MT4, MT5. So those of you who are on those platforms, all the tools for those platforms are there too as well. All right, dot number 2. Are we gonna really show a reversal here? Let's see. Enzo, you should watch the first lesson of the latest day trading. It shows you how to make sure that the dots always appear on the chart. Because I don't have time to like fully configure this. I recorded a whole lesson. If you have any problems, just message me on it. No. You don't need to sign. The Apex is the broker in this case, and Wealth Charts is the platform. Apex is effectively the broker in this case. You don't need to. There's no brokerage account associated with that. You're trading with Apex, which is basically trading, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Green dot. That's interesting. Look at this. Kind of getting a. Wow, that flipped around. Wow, this is really interesting. They were trying to push it up. And now the whole candle reversed 24 seconds. If this candle ends up red, we got to go short. Win or lose or die. This is a signal. We got to go short here on a reversal candle. All right, 13, 14 seconds, 11 seconds, 9 seconds. I'm going to stay patient. I'm not going to pull the trigger until it really closes. 3, 4, 2. It's got to stay red. 1, 7. All right, we're short here. The stop is over here. The target is over here. This is correct. Let's see if this thing is gonna give me some continuity. Stop should actually be just above this big spike high, right there. All right. Now we just twiddle our thumbs and see if we can make the trade. And there we go, beautifully. Okay, and I'm at 900. I'm at 900, which is where I wanted to be today, because the Queen has me working in the salt mines for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna kind of wrap up shop on my end of stuff. I wanted to hit that 900. I really wanted to hit 2,000. I wanted to be full, just 1,000 towards target. But hey, close enough for government work. So we'll start next week. And if you see me next week and the accounts are different, well, they'll be different from Asia. But if I'm going to make a vow today that I will not trade anymore for the rest of the day. I will not be the degenerate that I usually am. I will not sneak away trades while I'm trying to do content for you guys and meetings with Kathy. I will be a good boy. I will make that promise to you guys. Let's see if I hold it. Because yesterday I was in a meeting with her, and all she heard was order filled. And she's like, "Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Listen to what I'm talking about." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I'm paying attention." So I promise you, I'm not going to do any more trading today. But yet another good example. Triple dots, hit the target, get it done. Everybody have a good. I will let you know Monday if I held on. If I committed any sins or I did not. So here's a good question. You don't need to pay for TradingView account using Wealth Charts. Yeah, correct. Well, because Wealth Charts doesn't use TradingView. Wealth Charts has its own feed. That's correct, Zippy. That is correct. But you also, to be honest, well, you would get the free version of TradingView, which is shitty, and it's got. I obviously have a paid version of TradingView, but the free version is totally. You can trade Apex real prices, real stuff with my indicator on a free version of TradingView, but it is a shitty experience. So you're right. You're right to say that. Yes. No, she did not slap my for extending the deal. She agreed that I was actually doing God's work by extending the deal, so it's okay. Manny, it's whatever you want. You want to take it's your choice. You want to do TradeAway? You want to do Rhythmic? You want to do Wealth Charts? Whatever your choice. I'll give you the refund. You use the money for whatever you want. That's how it works. It's super easy. Okay. I recommend you do one Wealth Charts, one TradeAway. If you like to do Rhythmic, do Rhythmic. I'm not a Ninja Trader trader. It's a good product, but it's Windows. I like the Wealth Charts and TradeAway are all web based. I love being web based. I'm sitting on a Mac right now. I don't want to be on a Windows machine, having to forced to be traded. Okay. I'm really tempted to buy this yellow, guys. I'm really tempted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go. I got to go walk the dogs. I got to go do a million frigging things today. Everybody have a great day. We had a good day, right? We made money. We're close enough to 52,000. The whole week has been good. The P&L for the week has been almost 2,000. So, can't complain. The product works. The tool works. Strategy works. The only thing that doesn't work is my own bad intentions, right? So we constantly have to work on those. But anyways, everybody have a great day. Everybody enjoy the weekend. I'll see everybody. Let me do one final thing. Where's that gold? Where's that gold link? Oh, okay. She's already bothered me with gold. Oh no, sorry. This is the gold I have. Okay. Here, I'm sending the gold, the final thing to register for gold over here, and the final link to join the room for free over here. Okay, everybody who's listening to me, go out there and go do this. These are all free things we do for you. You will be much better off if you take advantage of them. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day, night, weekend. I will see everybody Monday. Or actually, I'll see everybody tomorrow for the webinar. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.